Okay,
Shut up, Blanca for you.
we're reading Shards of
I'm
Twilight.
Mordecai, guys. I swear on God, I'm Mordecai.
I'm gonna be any
Do I have to
third
read
character.
what? Okay, do I have to read like this? Hello, welcome to chapter 1.
No,
Or
we're not gonna
don't.
read that.
Okay.
Just start with
Okay.
the shadow.
Okay. Hey, Shadow. Thanks for meeting me. I know it's short notice, but this is kind of important. I think it's best for me to tell you as quickly as possible.
Shadow
had been.
Wait. Okay, you guys read
I'm
the
sorry.
speech. You guys read the speech, and I'm gonna
Okay.
read the narration.
Yeah.
Shadow had barely gotten the chance to sit down on the cold metal chairs in the coffee shop before Twilight began talking. She seemed distracted. She wouldn't make eye contact with him and was fidgeting with her fingers. Doesn't she have hooves?
Yeah, just have hooves.
Yeah, she has hooves!
Keep going.
She turned anthropomorphic.
Shadow was quick to notice her uneasy body language, and his mind raced to the worst possibilities. Trying to calm himself, he lightly tapped his fingers against the table, hoping to whatever god deity out there that this wouldn't be what he dreaded it was about. She's pregnant.
Shut up.
Okay, Shadow. Who's Shadow?
Yeah, who is Shadow? Can it be Kai, please?
I thought you were gonna be Shadow.
No, I'm Mordecai.
I don't think Mordecai's here.
There's no Mordecai here.
Okay, you'll just be
Is
the
there no
male character.
Mordecai?
You'll be the male characters.
Okay, sure. Nothing better to do. What is it?
He watched as Twilight took a deep breath, still not making eye contact with him. She was staring directly at him, but he could see her eyes looking just above his head.
No. I think it's best we don't see each other anymore.
Everything around Shadow stopped.
No!
It was then Twilight fully turned her head, no longer bothering to pretend to look at him.
What?
No. I met someone.
You met someone?
Yeah, I did.
Why would you do that?
Because, Shadow, this is a failure of a relationship.
Shadow didn't respond. This was worse than what he imagined the conversion would be. He knew the
conversion
was an accident.
The conversion.
He knew the relationship wasn't exactly the best at the moment, but he was trying.
Can you at least tell me who this someone is?
Twilight still refused to meet his eyes.
His name is Mordecai. We met a few months ago.
You've been seeing him this whole time?
We didn't do anything. I met him at a work party. We were just friends. When I started to get feelings for him, I knew I needed to let you go, Shadow.
Oh no.
Do you know does he know what you're doing right now?
She nodded. Shadow leaned up back against the chair and covered his face with his eyes. Huh? Covered his face with his eyes!
How do you cover your face with eyes? What?
Okay, it wasn't until he pulled them away and was met with the cool air did he realize he was crying.
Shadow, you're a good guy, and you deserve someone just as good. I'm not that someone. I'm sorry, Shadow.
He then stood up and walked out, leaving Shadow alone in the empty coffee shop.
Mordecai.
Oh no!
Wait, oh my god, I realized something.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to
There is
read
Mordecai!
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there's Mordecai.
Yeah, okay, go!
Oh, wait,
There.
do you guys want to
Oh yeah, I
read
have all the... Do you want me to be Mordecai too?
Wait, stop, wait, what?
Yeah, how'd it go as Mordecai?
Yeah, you'll be the male characters.
Yeah, okay.
Where is... wait, stop. Do you want to read the pimp Lincoln... oh fuck, I can't say Lincoln Loud.
Okay, wait, we'll read that after this one, because this one is apparently short.
Yeah, well, it's short. Wait, is there more?
This is part 2.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
There's more parts?
Yes.
I just saw a glimpse of something related to Breaking Bad. I'm just gonna cry.
What? Okay, Mordecai, come on.
Okay.
Okay. How'd it go?
It was late when Twilight arrived home from her meeting with Shadow. She lived in a small, one-bedroom apartment. The lights were dimmed and the air was chilly. She felt the hairs on her arms, hooves, and neck rise the moment she stepped in. The smell of
Arms and
weed.
hooves.
The smell of weed was the second thing her body reaction to. She stifled back what otherwise would have been a horrible gagging sound as she continued walking through her apartment. It had gone better than she expected. Perhaps she overestimated his reaction. She imagined he would freak out and start cursing her out. Granted, if he did, she wouldn't exactly blame him for it. She was well aware of her shitty situation she put them both in.
Well, yeah, because she's a fucking cheating bitch.
She's a cheating bitch.
She didn't
And
cheat
then
on him.
hard face.
She told him that she met someone.
Yeah, but she was with Mordecai for a few months before she broke up.
Yeah. Oh, but she said that we didn't do anything. Like, yeah, but
I
she's
think that's a
still
lie.
cheating.
I think that's a lie. I think that's the lie.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
They're
Let's
having
go.
bird
Let's go.
force hentai.
Oh my god.
A small part of her
Okay.
wanted him to freak out and cause a scene, to make her feel guilty for what she had done. She felt she had gotten off easy. She deserved some kind of chastising, to be told off. That's her kink.
Oh my god, shut up.
That's literally her kink. Not too bad, actually.
I think that was Mordecai. Why does this
No,
not
that
tell
no,
us
that
who's
was
No,
talking?
that's me.
Oh,
that's
That's
Twilight.
Oh,
me.
yeah, all right. But like this fan fiction has to tell you who's talking. Mordecai had
Yeah.
gotten up from the living room couch and met her at the doorway.
You did a good thing.
He said as he wrapped his arm around her.
It was for the best.
Twilight nodded.
I feel bad about it.
No one's saying you shouldn't. Breakups are hard, even if you're the one doing it.
I suppose.
Come on, let's not look at my bad. Come on, let's not worry about it anymore. What's done is done.
Oh, right. Mordecai led her back to the living room and sat her on the couch.
Do you want to order? You want to order out something? Help get your mind off of it all.
Twilight smiled.
I'd like that.
Why do you sound like that? Twilight smile.
I'm not trying to be serious. Mordecai threw a blanket over her and began to fuck her brains out to call the restaurant.
Get out.
The sound of Mordecai's voice slowly began to drown in her thoughts. She had never seen Shadow cry before, because his face is so shadowy. 6 years
6 years together.
6 years!
6 years?
Damn.
She's like 36 now.
Really?
Oh my god.
I don't know, I'm just assuming.
I mean, after 6 years, he should have proposed. What was he doing? It's no wonder she left.
And it was the first time she saw him like it. What? Like what? Oh, like he's crying.
Yeah.
Despite Mordecai's attempts, she still felt ashamed of herself. She called their relationship a
She should.
failure. A bit harsh on her part, she'll admit. She couldn't deny the fact that he was clearly trying. The failure of their relationship wasn't on him. It was on her. She was the one who was failing, not doing her part, putting in little effort. Her horn wasn't vibrating enough. Why did she say
Stop.
that to him? What compelled her to say those things to him? Maybe she should call him and apologize. Maybe she should pour all her raw thoughts into him and let them cook. Let him know.
Let him cook.
She really thought about their relationship.
Do not interrupt the grill master, but it's Shadow.
But that would probably make it worse. What's done is done, and now she needs to move on. Mordecai.
Bro, they said 20 minutes. I'll head out in 10. How's that?
Twilight's attention was drawn back to Mordecai.
Mordecai.
That sounds fine. You want me to go with you?
No, don't worry about it. You stay here and relax.
Shadow
Why did
stayed
she-
seated in the coffee shop for hours. Multiple times the waitress came asking if he wanted anything. The first time he answered with just the water. He dismissed the rest.
That reminds me of the one time I was in a restaurant and I kept ordering water. Just me and my brother, we kept ordering drinks. Just forever. My dad got really mad though.
Mordecai. The name sounded so familiar, but he couldn't remember where he last heard it. Whoever he was, he sounded stupid.
Real.
The entirety of his relationship with Twilight passed through his mind countless times. He couldn't understand what he did wrong. They were high school sweethearts. In high school.
Whoa! Holy moly, the Lord thickens.
Twilight went to high school.
Twilight went to high school.
They started dating.
Literally fucking in the show.
Was there like Tails in the school too, along with like was there like Tails
Tails
and
is dating Fluttershy?
Wait. Where did we stop? I had to go somewhere.
We stopped with high school sweethearts.
Where's that?
They were high school sweethearts. They started dating at the beginning of sophomore year and continued years after graduation. Maybe she was just bored with him. Maybe she just fell out of love with him. He wished Twilight had just told him what the
why is
issue
he so
was.
descriptive about the relationship? I did not need to know that they were high school sweethearts. I did not even know that.
I think it's to let us know how long. Wait, high school. She's like 6 years. Okay, so they graduated by now. They're adults. Then why is she still wearing a high school uniform in the cover? He wished that Twilight had just told him what the issue was. He could feel the tension in their relationship. He knew something was up. The last few months, he did whatever he could to fix a problem. He wasn't even sure it was real or not. He surprised her with her out on spontaneous dates. He reassured her when she felt hopeless. Despair? He was there for her whenever she needed him. He surrounded his entire life around her. Whatever it was, he couldn't stand not being with her. He had to sit down. He needed to get her back. Whatever it was he did wrong, he would fix it. He would change anything about it if it made her happy. He should talk to her. He should find her and make her tell him what he did wrong. Convince her that whoever Mordecai is, he isn't meant for her because he's a fucking bird. Shadow finally stood up from the table he occupied for hours. His mind was still running wild with all the things she said. All the things she said, running through my head, all the things she said. Mordecai. Mordecai. Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Unstable, you need to read this.
My nephew is hitting me with a fart gun.
Yeah.
Mr. Nephew,
He keeps screaming gas the juice. I think I'm out for a second.
No. Okay, who's
Wait.
gonna fill in for Mordecai?
I will.
Alright.
Wait. I'm going to take a quick shower before heading out.
Mordecai told Twilight, setting his phone down on the arm of the couch.
Okay.
She said, not paying attention to his movements. She stared at the TV. She wasn't sure what Mordecai was watching before she came home, but she left it on the for background noise as she continued to wonder if she did the right thing. Once again, she was lost in her own thoughts. But before she could sink any deeper into them, she was alarmed by Mordecai's phone vibrating. See, I told you her horn does that.
He's cheating on her. He's cheating on her.
I'm back.
Alright. Okay, so she was Lobotomy was filling in for Mordecai while you were gone, so now you can keep going. Mordecai.
Thank you, Lobotomy.
She ignored it
No
and began
problem.
looking for the remote. Then it went off again. This time, being unable to ignore it, she glanced at the notification. Hey, you doing anything tonight? It was from someone
Oh my god,
named
Benson!
He's
My
probably
god.
just one of his friends, and she rationalized. He's bi? Sometimes being curious isn't so bad. She turned his phone around and placed it safely on the coffee table. After locating the remote, she put on Real Entertainment. Breaking Bad. And then Walter White just crawls out the TV. Way better than
Jesse!
dumb show.
Jesse, we need to make the meth for Mordecai.
Jesse, Shadow is ordering us to put meth in. After
Go ahead.
comfortable again, Mordecai walked in again.
Alright, I'll be back.
Oh wait, Mordecai, your phone.
Twilight quickly stood up and handed his phone to him.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
You got a message from your friend Benson asking to hang out tonight. I'm okay if you want to eat after. I'm okay if you want to after we eat.
Twilight didn't seem to notice Mordecai's face slightly pale as she spoke to him.
Oh shit!
Probably
He's
because
gay. He's gay.
probably because his face
He's
is covered in
cheating.
feathers. Probably because his face is covered
Oh
in
no, it's
feathers.
fine. I'll text him some other time.
Okay, but wait, no, why is it? Why am I? Twilight.
Lobotomy.
It's Twilight.
What? No, it's Oh no, it's fine. I'll just
No,
it's
that's the
Mordecai.
next one. The next one.
Ah, okay, but if you change your mind, let me know.
Mordecai nodded and left.
Shit. Shit. I'm fucked.
Okay. It was a few minutes after Shadow had left did it dawn on him. He now remembered where he last heard the name Mordecai. They went to high school together! Oh my god!
No
Oh my
way.
god.
Nothing
No.
ever happened between them during that time, but now Shadow had a face to put to the name. Shadow tried to think back to how it was like. They never had much interaction. Shadow knew Mordecai was part of the marching band and heavily involved in most art classes. Shadow also
Rigby.
was best friends with the short raccoon, Rigby. I'm Pickle Rig. Unlike Mordecai, Shadow knew a lot about Rigby. Everyone knew a lot about Rigby. He was this loud, annoying, and stupid little bitch. Fuck
Yeah.
about anything and didn't believe in consequence. That's the first swear in this entire thing. It honestly surprised no one when Rigby dropped out and didn't show up for their senior year. Shadow wondered if he and Mordecai were still best friends or even in contact. Shadow couldn't imagine Mordecai sticking by him exceptionally long. He always seemed to hold him back in some degree. 36 degrees, to be exact. As Shadow continued to pass by shops and restaurants, he noticed something up ahead. Someone tall, someone blue, someone with a stupid face. Mordecai paced by him, seemingly not aware of who he had just passed. Shadow noted he appeared to be rushing somewhere. He didn't know where, obviously, but there's no reason he can't find out. How convenient that they walk into each other.
I know. The plot thickens.
Shadow walked on a few more steps before suddenly turning around, following Mordecai. He made sure to stay just far enough to not cause suspension.
Suspension.
You mean suspicion? Red sauce, but close enough to keep him within his sight. Mordecai wasn't aware he was being stalked and kept his current pace. He passed the shops Shadow did only a few seconds ago. Shadow?
So, where is he going?
Shadow thought to himself. What was he even going to do when Mordecai finally arrived at his destination? Confront him? Beat him up? Suck him off? Suddenly, following him felt stupid. Shadow inwardly sighed to himself. Maybe it was in disappointment, maybe sadness, possibly in frustration. Like it mattered anyway. He should just give up on whatever it is he's trying to do and go home. Just as he made up his mind and turned around, Mordecai stopped. Shadow quickly ducked into an alley and peeked his head out of the corner. Mordecai checked over his shoulder a few times, not noticing Shadow peering at him. Shadow didn't dare leave the alley. He was too far in now to turn around. He's checked again, and Mordecai was standing in front of someone's house. He heard a loud banging, followed by someone opening the door.
I want to be Benson. I want to be Benson.
All
Can you
right,
please
yeah.
be Benson?
Alright, yeah, be Benson. Why not?
Oh hey, Mordecai.
A voice Shadow didn't recognize spoke.
You didn't respond to my message. I didn't know you were coming.
Yeah, look, Benson. I think it's time we stop whatever this is.
What? Was Mordecai seeing someone else? Shadow fought the urge to face them and pressed his body further into the wall and continued his spying.
What? Why?
Well, it's just I don't really see this going anywhere, you know?
They're dating.
No.
They're dating. Oh my god. Whoever this Benson, who is Benson again? I never really.
He's the
in
gumbo
the show.
machine
The
guy.
gumball
In the show, it's
machine. Are
Mordecai
you
and Rigby's
serious?
boss.
Yeah.
Are you serious? The gumball.
Yeah.
Whoever this Benson guy was clearly.
The
did
fact
not
that it's
want
Mordecai and Rigby's boss too.
Mordecai
Yeah.
was cheating on him.
There's a power balance there.
Does Twilight know? Maybe this was Shadow's chance if he got proof of Mordecai's disloyalty to her. She'd realize her and Shadow were meant to be. Shadow quickly grabbed his phone and began an audio recording.
Look, Benson, we can't. I don't think this is going to work out.
Why Mordecai? Can we just talk through?
Talk through. Benson's voice seemed hysterical.
I've given you 2 years of my life, and I'm not gonna let you walk away just because you won't tell me what the. Oh no, that's Benson. My bad. My bad.
That's really. Wait. I've given you 2 years of my life. I'm not just going to let you walk away because you won't tell me what the problem is.
There was a long pause. Shadow wondered if they had gone inside. Alright. Oh, wait. You?
Alright. We'll talk and give it another go.
Okay then. Come inside and we'll talk.
I can't right now.
Oh.
I have somewhere to be, but I promise within the next month we'll talk.
Next month.
I'm going to hold you to that, Mordecai.
Shadow stayed hidden and listened to the door forcefully close. He waited for Mordecai to walk by before sneaking out of the corner. He looked at his phone to listen to the recording, only to realize he never hit to.
Holy crap!
Oh,
Fuck no!
He yelled at himself mentally. That was it. He was never gonna get Twilight back. Mordecai was going to go back to her being blissfully unaware of his true self.
Who is Laguna?
Knowing Shadow just threw away possibly his last shot at getting her back, he sat on a bench, not even bothering to follow Mordecai.
He tried to break up with me, Laguna. Can you believe? No, it's Benson. That's Benson.
He tried to break up with me, Laguna. Can you why is Laguna here?
Who's Laguna?
Who is that? Who is that?
She's from Monster High. She's from Monster High.
Excuse me?
Wait, I need to see a photo. I need to see a photo.
I'm sharing my screen
I'll get
right
it for
now.
You.
What? For Monster High?
Why is she here?
I'll get it for you.
Why is she here? Okay, who's gonna voice Laguna?
I'll be Laguna.
Alright.
What? You can't be serious.
I am. He just showed up.
Yeah, we should make this into a video, guys.
I'm already recording.
Molly.
Oh my god. You're live on Twitch? Oh my.
You be Shadow. You be Shadow.
Yeah,
instead of
Kai can be Shadow or Laguna.
Just a
What
second.
are you guys?
Just a second.
Are you guys like Sonic fandom?
This is
It's like a- it's-
My Little Pony, Monster High,
My Little Pony.
regular show, My Little
I've had
Monster
just enough with
High.
you, buddy.
Breaking Bad.
I'm so sorry.
Breaking Bad.
I'm so sorry. Can we start from he tried to break up with me again? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait, but Kai, are
He
you gonna
tried
be Shadow?
Yeah, Kai, do you want to be Shadow?
Sure.
Oh my god, you're gonna have Shadow. Alright, continue.
I'll post the link again.
What are you
He tried to break up with me, Laguna. Can you believe it?
What? You can't be serious.
Where are we going?
He just showed up. Shut the fuck up. I am. He just showed up at my door about a week ago and told me he didn't see us going anywhere. Well, if that's the case, why did you let me waste 2 years of my life on you? 2 years?
Benson sat on his
Holy
couch,
fuck.
his phone pressed up against his ear. It had been a week since he and Mordecai spoke. He was getting fed up with waiting.
Laguna, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, he's everything to me. Whatever we're going through right now, I know we can make it. I just need to talk to him.
Just show up to his house.
What?
Oh yeah, if he won't come to you, you gotta go to him.
Well, maybe you're right.
Of course I'm right, Benson. All you have to do is stalk that bitch. If you gotta show him you're not messing around. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And besides, you always have Applejack. You always have Applejack.
Not the cowgirl.
Dude.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Big reveal. Applejack is the ex of Benson.
I
No
am
fucking
crying.
way.
How?
All right.
Yeah, right. Like I'd ever go back to an ex.
You
Such
two
a
are good
girly
for each
fuck.
other, though.
Yeah, I suppose.
Why did you guys break up again?
I don't even know. It was almost 3 years ago. I think
Dude.
we just fell out of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. I'm gonna go, though. Let me know how it works stalking Mordecai.
Alright, I will. Bye, Laguna. Bye, girl.
Do you think
Bye.
he
Oh my
figured
God.
out Applejack was being plowed by Big Mac?
No, there's
What?
Benson hung up the phone and tossed it on the other side of the couch. It had been a whole week since he and Mordecai last talked. He glanced at the clock on his wall. It read
God.
58 p.m. Perhaps Benson should just show up unannounced to his house. He wanted to get to the bottom of whatever was bothering him. The bottom of what was bothering. I think Benson's a bottom. Filled with a sudden burst of determination.
He is.
To
He
his
is.
house and made his way back to Mordecai. Chapter 4, people! Chapter 4!
Oh my God.
Today was a lazy day. Nothing was in store for Mordecai. All he wanted to do, all he was going to do, was lay in bed all day and relax and jack off. Not a care in the world.
Real.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
Twilight was having a completely opposite day. She was
no, I'm not doing it. Hold on, I gotta do something else.
No way. He doesn't want to do that.
Aw. She was doing a double at her waitress job and would not get out until much later. He had offered her to come over afterwards and bend over backwards, but still was not sure if she would arrive. It had been about a week since she dumped him, that emo boyfriend of hers. Mordecai didn't feel guilty about it. It wasn't like they did anything, well, anything too crazy, that is. He wasn't sure what all she told Shadow. He wasn't sure what all she told Shadow or what all he knew, but it'd be a lie if she told him they didn't steal a few kisses from one another. He did feel guilty for something else, though. Benson! He attempted to break up with him. It wasn't like he didn't try. It was like he was purposely leading him on. He was going to break up with him, honest, but he chickened out. You mean, Blue Jade out? Mordecai never considered himself as very confrontational. He considered just ghosting Benson instead of just talking to him in person. He wished he just did ghost him. That's what he gets for trying to be a mature adult about it. He bought himself with another month to come up with a game plan. What's the game plan? Ghosting him. Mordecai had no intention of beating Benson in 1 month. He had no intention of ever seeing him again. He was just waiting for the perfect moment to block him on every social platform imaginable and spending the rest of his day with Twilight Sparkle. He hadn't spoken to Twilight about it yet, but he was thinking about moving in with her in their one-bedroom apartment. It was the perfect plan. Move in with Twilight, then block Benson on everything. He wouldn't be able to just, show up to his home unannounced when he inevitably figures out Mordecai had freezed him out of his life. It was almost too perfect. Mordecai readjusted himself in his bed and began flipping through channels. Suddenly, he heard a faint banging sound. Mordecai scoffed and rolled his eyes. Maybe his upstairs neighbors fighting again. They got into frequent arguments, and it wasn't uncommon for Mordecai to hear the occasional sound of glass shattering. Mordecai? Hello? Hello? Mordecai? Mordecai? Unstable, where are you? Unstable. Unstable.
I literally said I had to mute, bro. Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
You be Mordecai. You be everything.
Okay.
You be everybody for now.
Okay, I gotta be everyone. Another reason to move out of this junk pile, he mumbled to himself as he continued to mindlessly change channels. The banging grew louder and louder, that's what she said. Mordecai turned the volume up, drowning out the sounds of his neighbors.
Okay, did you
Suddenly,
fill for me?
I had to fill for there wasn't any talking parts except for Mordecai, but I had to fill in for that one.
Yeah, where are we now?
We are at suddenly he heard a loud crash coming from his living room. Mordecai leapt out of his bed and rushed towards his bedroom door before tearing it open. As soon as he stepped out, he was met with the sight of Benson standing in his doorway, or what was left of one at least. Benson, what the hell?
Oh, hey Mordecai. How are you?
Dude, Benson, what are you doing? You broke into my apartment.
I wanted to talk.
So you broke in?
Yeah? How else was I supposed to get in? You've been ignoring me.
Mordecai paced back and forth in the living room, his hands placed on either side of his face. Benson casually sat his gyat down on the couch, with his legs crossed like a twink.
What do you want to do tonight?
Mordecai snapped his head in Benson's direction, and then he died because he snapped his neck. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now, bro? Benson?
I'm trying, Mordecai. Okay, I'm trying to make this relationship work.
By wrecking my frickin' door?
I wasn't like it wasn't like you gave me any other option, Mordecai.
Wait a second. Wait, I'm gonna pause the video real quick. Oh my god. Mordecai went back into his room, ignoring Benson's prying questioning. He came back out a few seconds later, phone in hand. I'm calling the cops.
What?
And you're gonna pay for my flippin' door. Benson stood up suddenly and lunged towards Mordecai in attempts to grab his phone. Mordecai dodged him, causing Benson to land on the coffee table, breaking it in the process. You're paying for that too! Ignoring Mordecai's comment, Benson quickly got back on his feet, licked his feet, got back on his feet, licked his feet one more time, got back on his feet, and then tried to once again take his phone.
You're not calling anyone.
Benson was now on top of Mordecai for the first time, desperately trying to reach his phone. What the hell? Oh my god. Benson and Mordecai both froze and turned their heads to the direction of the voice.
I think that's supposed to be you.
Oh, Twilight! Mordecai pushed Benson off him, holding his phone tightly in his grasp. He looked down at it and was met with the horrifying sight of it broken beyond repair. Shit. Twilight couldn't know about Benson. Mordecai sat frozen, still for what seemed to be an eternity, his mind racing at light speed, trying to come up with an explanation that wouldn't expose him. Twilight, I need you to call the police. Mordecai washed as a flash of worry washed over his face. Without explanation, Twilight quickly pulled out her phone and dialed 911. Benson hastily jumped from the floor and charged at Twilight, both crashing into the wall behind her. The room shook from the impact. Benson, now after Twilight's phone, struggled to release it from her grasp. Before Mordecai could have the proper reaction, a tall and orange figure appeared in his doorway. He recognized her as Applejack, his upstairs neighbor. Can I voice Applejack? I need this. What in tarnation is going on here? Applejack gasped at the scene taking place in front of her. Benson, not yet aware of Applejack's presence, kicked Twilight in her shin, causing her to briefly release her phone. Mordecai watched as it fell into his hands. Thinking quickly, he chucked his own broken phone at Benson's head. Benson grabbed his head in pain, and while distracted, Twilight came up behind him and pushed him into the floor.
Yo, Mr. Wick's back in the house after a whole day. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Welcome, Mr. Wick. Merry Christmas. We're making a video reading this goofy Wattpad.
What are you guys doing?
You wanna fill in for Unstable and read Mordecai?
Yeah, can you read these Mordecai and read the Wattpad for me? Because I have to be mute. I can't read it out loud.
Alright, then sure. Twilight couldn't know about Benson. Mordecai sat from
he's not you're not the narrator.
This one will be you, the one I'm highlighting.
Twilight, are you okay? He asked worriedly.
We didn't even get to that point. I'll tell you when we're continuing. It'll show. You'll know. So, you'll know.
Tío, tú ves salir, con mis amigos.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, fuck me.
What? Okay. Benson grabbed his head in pain, and while distracted came out. Okay. Applejack, Twilight, and Mordecai watched in horror as broken glass spilled on the floor, and gumballs rolling to their Oh my god! Oh my god! Applejack shrieked, running to Benson's body. Mordecai hurried.
What the fuck happened to him?
Benson is dead.
Oh my god.
Mordecai hurried to Twilight's side. He's not here anymore. Are you kidding me? Mr.
Read
Wick.
him, come on.
Mr. Wick. Okay, I'm gonna voice Mordecai then. Twilight, are you okay? He asked worriedly. All Twilight could do was nod her head. Her eyes were wide and in shock from his cock.
We need to call someone.
She eventually said in a hushed tone.
Nah, I can't do this. I need to charge my phone.
Right, I had to fill in for your part as Mordecai, because you were gone. Mordecai met her eyes. She wasn't showing any emotion. Okay, Mordecai, it's you.
I can't. I told you my mic is working right now.
I'm talking to Mr. Wick.
Oh, Mr. Wick just left.
Mr. Wick. Okay, I'm gonna be Mordecai then again. Don't worry about that. I'll take care of it. Mordecai and Twilight looked over at the sudden words from Applejack. What? Wait.
It's you. It's you.
Oh! Don't worry about that. I'll take care of it. Is Applejack, right? Don't worry about that. I'll take care of it. Just don't ask any questions. The less you know, the easier it'll be. Applejack said, not looking at them. You'll need somewhere else to stay while we get this mess cleaned. But what about... I said not to worry about any of that. I'll fix your goddamn door and take care of the body. There'll be no police involved, and neither of you will need to worry about this. Got it? God, this is messier than applesauce on a cracker. Mordecai nodded quickly. Good. Good. Now you two hurry and get out of here. I need to cook an apple pie. The emotion Applejack was experiencing was unlike anything she ever felt before. After yet another fight with Rarity, of course, Rarity.
Who else would be big?
Rainbow Dash, but Applejack left their apartment to get her mind off it. Applejack couldn't talk to anyone. The information she held was extremely confidential. I know it's confidential, but I wanted to say confidential. And the only person she could talk about it to her hated her. Rarity was a gang member.
Gang member.
And not just any low-life gang member. She was nothing but loyal to Spongebob.
The wild ones.
The wild ones. And held human life at exceptionally low value because they were all fish creatures. Applejack couldn't even remember how she ended up in a relationship with her or why she was still in it. That was a lie. She knew exactly why she was still there. She knew too much. The second Rarity reported her relationship status, Applejack would be hunted down and killed. Applejack would often wonder about how her life used to be before. Before she met Rarity, before she unwillingly became affiliated with one of the most infamous gangs in history, before she and Benson broke up. She was the one to break up with him. She regretted it the moment it happened, but she knew it was for the best. She simply felt like she couldn't give him what he needed, what he deserved. She didn't feel she deserved him, so she let him go. She walked silently in the musty, dusty, crusty, rusty hallway. The wallpaper was peeling, and her head was reeling, and the carpet was ripped in some spots, and some broken pots. Just as she reached the final stairway to her warm and loving home, she broke her bone. She heard a loud crash from the opposite direction. Fully aware of her stupid decision, she ran toward the sound like a hound.
It's gonna be SpongeBob. Watch this.
Though nothing could have prepared for what is going to happen in those few moments. Those few life-changing moments would follow her until the day she died. Before she would comprehend what was going on, Benson was suddenly falling to his death. He was
Oh
falling
my
from a
god.
stairway. He was falling from a stairway. Applejack knew she had to react very carefully. She knew the next few seconds could alter her life in ways unimaginable. She told them to leave, and that she would take care of it. She quickly fixed her door and left to find Rarity. What? I know, but Rarity, it was her. Wait, what?
I want to be a Rarity. I want to be a Rarity.
Alright, yeah.
You mean?
Wait, who's talking right now?
It's me. You say
I know,
what?
but
I
there's like
know, but
Rarity.
Rarity, it was
But
her.
who's?
You
I
mean?
know, but Rarity, it was her.
I think that's Rarity.
But Rarity, it was her.
You mean?
Yes, if they had gotten the police involved, SpongeBob would have no chance of getting her. I did it to help you. Oh, okay, that's Apple. This is Applejack. All right, this is Applejack. I know, but
Yeah, I
Rarity,
know.
it was her. Yes, if they had gotten the police involved, SpongeBob would have no chance of getting her. I did it to help you. That was also a lie. I thought she was an element of honesty. She was aware of SpongeBob's current pursuit of Twilight. She didn't care. She knew SpongeBob and his gang possessed the technology to heal people beyond death. Okay, when did that happen?
What?
A few years
What?
ago, there was a massive gang of war between the Wild Ones and the Mario Bros. The Mario
Oh my
Bros.
god.
Applejack wasn't entirely sure how it happened. She had heard many different stories about it, and it was one of the few topics Rarity was very hush, 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 hush before I make you blush, blush about. She did know, though, then that it started when he stole power moons and superstars from the Mario Bros. A power moon could heal Benson. It could bring him back. All she had to do was just meet me at the pate. All she had to do was convince Sponge or Rarity to that it was worth his while. Chapter 5.
That was so pathetic. I'm going to send the picture affiliated with this chapter. Look at this.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night?
Airplanes
Oh my god.
in the night sky.
It had been 6 months since Shadow was left alone in the coffee shop. 6 months since Twilight had broken up with him. 6 months since Shadow's last chance on getting her back. They have been a painful 6 months. An agonizing pain marinated. Imagine Springtrap comes in here. An agonizing pain
I wouldn't be
marinated.
surprised.
They have like Mordecai and Twilight have a date at Freddy Fazbear's
Oh my
Pizza.
god, I just read forward. Link is showing up here.
Link, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. His friends had tried to help him, but he wasn't much of a talker. But Link and Shadow had formed a familiar bond with each other. They met shortly after graduation, and as time went on, their friendship grew, even though Shadow was a hedgehog and Link was an elf. After not hearing from him in almost 2 weeks, Link showed up unannounced at Shadow's house. He found him in a disturbingly Sayori state. His room was dark, with no signs of light. The floor was barely visible with clutter. Link chastised him for the way he was handling it, then let him vent. He later convinced Shadow to let him Tickler to clean himself up while he cleaned his room. After showering, Shadow found Link in his bedroom, sweeping the last pile of cum crust into the dustpan. He thanked him, and they left for lunch. What about here?
Oh.
Wait, huh? What about here? What about here? How about you, Link?
I'll be. Yeah, sure. I don't know how he talks, by the way.
He never talks.
Is he like?
He doesn't talk.
No, there's this one game where he talks. That's the where it's that game with wait, I'll need to find it. Wait, hold up. Hold up. It's the game where that meme originated from, like, come back when you were a little richer. Like, I'll find it, don't worry.
How about you just continue reading?
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe just that. What about here?
Shadow looked up from the ground he had been staring at for the majority of the walk. He was met with the same coffee shop he last saw Twilight. No, not here. Link was about to say something, then decided it was best not to pry there. They continued walking.
Have you heard about Johnny?
Bravo.
No!
Bravo! Johnny Bravo!
No! Why is Johnny Bravo here?
Link nodded. No, what about him?
He got into some trouble with loan sharks.
Figures, Shadow coughed, rolling his eyes. I told him he needed to cool it with the gambling.
No way. You know he never listens. You know he was never one to listen.
Shadow laughed. Yeah, well, where is he now?
No, he skipped town a few days ago. Didn't say anything to anyone.
Shadow thought about that last conversation with Link. Johnny had left to escape the grips of gangs of loan sharks, and here he was escaping his own feelings. He watched the wilderness pass by him as the bus continued to gain speed. His phone went off. He glanced at it and felt his blood run cold with jealousy. Twilight had posted a new picture. Her, Mordecai, and Rigby were hanging out late at night at some bar. Guess that answered his previous question about Mordecai and Rigby. Okay, I'm glad they brought back that plot point. Well, that
Yeah.
question, not plot point. It wasn't like a big of point, but like at least they brought it back.
Yeah.
She looked happy. Shadow stared at her, smiled, and thought about all the times she smiled at him like that. A smile of his own almost crept onto his lips until his eyes shifted over to Mordecai. He felt his grip tighten on his phone so hard his hand began to shake. Every time he looked at his stupid face, he felt an unimaginable rage fuel his body. He watched as a small crack began to form on the corner of his screen and suddenly dropped his phone. He hastily picked it up from the ground and jumped from his seat. "Stop the fucking bus!" he yelled. The bus came to a screeching halt. The bus driver cursed at him as he... The bus driver cursed at him as he
the bus
pushed through
can't
the
do
doors
that.
and began running.
But she can't do that. The bus can't stop if he just says so.
Yeah, he has to press the button.
Yeah.
Applejack
What
never
a loser.
expected to see Benson again in her lifetime, much less him dead in her downstairs neighbor's apartment.
What?
He
He's
would've-
dead?
Didn't I tell you he's dead?
No, I knew he was falling to his death, but I didn't know he actually died.
Yes, his glass head broke.
Oh my god.
As much as she would have hoped for him to live, she knew it was improbably for SpongeBob to truly find some use in him. She was lucky enough that Twilight was there to use an excuse. The cleanup was easy, though. It was one of the few things she was allowed to know about the Wild Ones. SpongeBob had special cleanup. They should have named them the Bikini Bottoms. Like the Krusty
For real,
Krabs. They
for
should have named
real.
them the Krusty Krabs.
The Krusty Krab crew.
The Pineapples.
The crabs.
The Square Pants. They all have squared shaped pants. Like, you just see Rarity, the horse, walking around with square pants.
The bottom feeders. The
Like, you just
bottom
got
tier
Rarity wearing
feeders.
square pants, and she's like, oh, these are so chic.
Oh my god. I need to draw that, oh my god.
Yes. SpongeBob had special cleanup crew for these types of situations, usually reserved for people he's killed himself. Oh, he killed himself? But occasionally there was a unique situation that would call for such an intense cleaning. Drinking became a nightly routine. With Rarity gone all the time, she found herself incredibly alone. She sat down on her torn leather couch and drank a hearty amount of apple cider. She hadn't heard anything about it from Rarity in almost 9... Rarity's pregnant. I'm calling it.
Oh my god.
I'm calling it right now. 9 months. Very specific.
How can she get pregnant if they're both female?
SpongeBob.
Oh my god, you're right.
Like a horse made out of sponge.
No.
A light yellow horse
Oh my
made out of
God.
sponge and with blue eyes.
Why did that immediately remind me of mouthwashing?
Mouthwash. She's because Chloe has light yellow hair and blue eyes.
No, but the minigame where there's a horse fetus.
Not the horse.
It's literally that.
Not the fetus.
Yeah.
Since she decided, She since decided it was best to give up on the idea that Benson could be brought back. And even if he were, he wouldn't want anything to do with her. She broke his heart, left him alone in his house in the middle of the night with nothing but a note filled with excuses and apologies. She hated herself after that night. Benson deserved more than her. Someone who could love him as much as he deserved to be. She knew she wouldn't be able to give him what he needed. The love she felt for him ran deep in her heart, her soul, her loins. She would do anything for him, including letting him go. If you love me, let me go. If you love him, if you love the gumball, let him go.
Do you think she chewed his gumballs?
She was like, hey, Benson, can I have one of your gumballs? Oh, you can have 2 types of balls. She never heard from him after that. She could only imagine what he felt when he woke up the next day without her next to him. If she couldn't be there for him, she could at least give him a second chance at life, even if it meant she couldn't be a part of it. Part of your world. Imagine Ariel appears. She tried to rationalize with herself that SpongeBob would find a reason to keep him alive, but quickly accepted the fact that even if he did, she would never see him again. But that was okay for her. There was a lingering part of her, though. A part of her that was Applejack.exe. I was curious of the reason he was there. She knew that she should have left it alone, that her interference was already risking her own life. But she had to know the circumstances that led to his death. The deeper she dug, the messier it gets. If I had it my way, you'd already be dead. The more enraged she felt. How come Twilight and her little boyfriend get to live their lives while she has to suffer in silence? Oh, probably because you offered to clean up the bodies. That's kind of your fault.
Yeah, for real.
She had stalked both their online pronouns in a drunken state. She continued to scroll down. All Twilight seemed to post about was whatever book she was reading, or pictures of her and her stupid boyfriend. Why does everyone call him stupid? Stupid face, stupid
Literally.
boyfriend. Applejack clicked
I
away
mean,
from
he's
her
a
profile.
cheater, but he doesn't deserve that.
Applejack clicked away from her profile, only to notice a new post. It was of them at some park. If Applejack were in the right state of mind, maybe she would have thought twice about the decision she was making, or maybe the jealousy and rage she would have taken over her regardless.
Why is she jealous? Why is she full of rage? What the fuck did they do?
Be better than her.
You really? It's not their fault Benson died. He broke into their apartment.
Twilight woke up early that morning. She turned her head over to find Mordecai sleeping peacefully beside her. She smiled softly to herself before quietly getting out of bed, carefully not to wake him. She made herself a cup of joe, grabbed her latest book, and began reading. She lost herself inside the pages of the book. Her eyes almost robotically scanned the page, sucking as many cocks as possible. I'm not even stopping for the occasional sip of her coffee. Huh?
Huh?
I'm? Who is I'm?
I'm not even stopping.
Who is he's the author is in the story now? Coffee 041 is drinking coffee. This was
That's
her morning
cannibalism.
routine for 6 months. She had quit her waitress job. Isn't she a princess? Job soon after the
Literally.
incident, and Mordecai took up more hours at his.
Wait. She is a princess? They
Yes.
worked together. Mordecai works at the park. They're co-workers. Doesn't that mean either Mordecai is a waiter too, or what?
She never did find out what that guy, Benson, was doing there. Honestly, she didn't really want to know. She wanted everything about that night gone from her memory. She didn't know how that girl was able to get rid of the body. She didn't know why or how the police didn't get involved, but she was thankful. Now her mind was able to block it out. Mordecai suggested therapy, but that costs too much, and she's broke. And she was very adamantly against it. She didn't want to work through it. She didn't want to be reminded of that night constantly. She simply wanted to forget it. She knew she couldn't, though, no matter how hard she tried to forget about it. It was always in the back of her mind. That part of her desperately wanted to know what was going on. She thought about bringing it up to Mordecai multiple times, but each time she quickly retreated. She knew it was best just to forget it. And for the past 6 months, she's been able to. A few hours later, Mordecai emerged. Wait, shit. My headphones fell out. I have to plug my headphones back in.
God damn it.
I can't hear you right now because my headphones are in.
La 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 la
Okay, my headphones are back in. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay. A few hours later, Mordecai emerged from their bedroom. He moved in that same night, only grabbing the essentials before quickly fleeing the scene. He, too, seemed to want to forget about that night, given that he hadn't once brought it up to her. Though a part of her was willing to admit she was curious about what truly took place.
How long will it take?
What?
What?
How long will it take?
Who is that? Oh.
How long will it take?
Who is that?
We're Kai.
Oh, it's Kai? Kai, are you still gonna read characters? Are you still gonna read? Are you still gonna be Shadow?
Fuck you.
Maybe
Fuck
Mordecai.
him.
Oh.
I'm trying to get Gloos to join us.
Though a part of her she was willing to admit was curious about what truly took place, she decided it to be best just to ignore it. Morning, he said, stretching as he walked over to her. What time did you get up? Hello?
Sorry, Wait. Only a couple hours ago.
She replied, not looking up from her book. Gotta
You
ask.
want a cup of coffee?
He didn't even get to answer her
I
question.
said it. You want a cup of coffee?
He didn't even get to give her an answer before she stood up to make him one. What's the plan for today? She asked. Oh, wait.
No, that's me. You want a cup of coffee? Well, what's the plan for today?
She asked. Who asked? She asked. Mordecai sat down on the couch. Twilight did moments before. Nothing much. Rigby wants to know if we're gonna hang out tonight. Do you?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
Do you want a cup of coffee?
Stop! Do you want a cup of coffee? She's just making the coffee already. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Why are you laughing so much?
I don't know why.
Okay.
It's funny.
Okay. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Only if you do.
Want a cup of coffee? Well, what does he want to do? Does he want coffee?
He wants a coffee. just to some bar a few streets. What does he want to do just to some bar a few streets away? That is a fun thing to do, just to some bar. Twilight paused for a moment. She had only met Rigby briefly a few times, but never actually hung out with him. Didn't she have a picture with him?
What picture? I zoned out. Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, she had a picture with him.
Yeah, they went out.
At the beach.
She forgot about him. Rigby is so unimportant.
He seemed nice, a bit loud, and definitely someone who cares more about fun than anything else. Yeah, sure, sounds fun. Oh wait, you're supposed to say that.
Fuck you. Yeah, sure, sounds fun. Did they have coffee there?
Mordecai couldn't help but slap her in the face. Mordecai couldn't help but pick up hesitation in her voice. It's okay if you don't, Twilight. We can always do something else. Twilight finished pouring the creamer and creamed on his face.
No, it's okay. We should probably start trying to leave the house more often. It's not good for us to be holed up all the time drinking coffee.
Mordecai didn't say anything and drank from his mug. She was right, though. It wasn't good to never drink coffee. The only time she left was for coffee and Twilight. She barely left at all, just drank coffee. They may not talk about coffee, but that coffee was all coffee could think about. For coffee after it coffeed, he was always coffee over his coffee, expecting to get coffee or the coffee to suddenly pull him a coffee. That girl, Coffee Jack, she had lived above him for a few years, and not once did they have a full coffee.
Full conversation with coffee.
He couldn't understand why she helped them that night, why she felt the need to, or how she even did. She was always a cup of coffee to him. Sometimes they would catch each other's glances in the same dingy coffees. I can't stop.
Coffee way. Sometimes
coffee
even
way?
a small coffee breathing.
But that was coffee.
What was that sound?
They didn't form any kind of friendship. No loyalty, no magic, no kindness, no honesty, no laughter, no magic to each other. There should have been no generosity. There should have been no reason for her to help him that night. Just don't ask questions. The less you know, the easier it'll be. Wait, don't ask any questions. The less you know, the easier it'll be. Maybe she was right. He should stop pondering on it and start pounding Twilight. Well, I'm gonna take you.
Well, I'm going to take a shower and get ready for the day. What time does Rigby want to meet up for coffee?
Mordecai quickly pulled himself from his thoughts and looked up to her. He wants to be there for happy hour, so we should get there around 4 p.m. Also, can you leave your bathroom door unlocked? She nodded and placed her empty mug on the sink, and then he cummed in the sink, before leaving Mordecai alone. It was 5 o'clock when cup of coffee and coffee finally got out of the coffee. Rigby had been waiting for them for only 10 minutes. Apparently he had also been running late. The bar was decently full. Not a lot of people, a lot of coffee. Rigby had quickly flagged them down, and they both hurriedly walked through mazes of tables and coffee before finally sitting and drinking coffee. When they arrived, Rigby had already ordered coffee for them. They sat in a round, high-top table in the corner of the
Coffee shop.
Coffee shop. They ordered a few more rounds of coffee, took pictures, laughed, and made coffee. Their minds were buzzing from the coffee. But as the night continued to grow later and later, they began to sober up. The mood suddenly changed. The bar was completely empty. Even the staff seemed to have coffee. How's the married life?
I want to do Rig.
Okay, yeah.
How's the married life treating you guys?
Rigby asked after setting down his third empty glass from his ass. Twilight glanced at Mordecai, who in return gave a confused look. What are you yapping about?
Well, you two have been living together for like half a year.
So?
So, you guys are basically married. Why don't you hurry it up and start enjoying those tax benefits?
Why would we enjoy that when we can do tax evasion?
I don't think that's how it works, Rigby.
Twilight laughed. Honestly, the thought of marrying Mordecai hadn't crossed her mind once. At one point, she thought she would have married Shadow, but now she wanted to take things slow, put it down on me for a while.
Well, I mean, after 6 years, I would expect to be married.
You need to ask.
Wait. Who's saying
How
this?
long
Oh,
have you
Rigby.
guys...
No, I'm figuring out who's saying it. How long have you guys been together anyway?
The question came off as innocent, but Twilight couldn't help but feel malice. Twilight wasn't aware of how much Rigby knew about the circumstance of her relationship with Mordecai. What all had he told him? Maybe Twilight lied to Shadow. Okay, not maybe, she did lie to him. But there's no way Rigby could have known. Maybe around 7 or 8 months. Or 9 months, so then she gave birth.
Why are you so adamant about characters giving birth?
I've only, mentioned it twice.
Still, that's too much.
Mordecai had answered the question for her. Now, is that when you two started dating? Or when you started doing...
No, that's me.
Oh, sorry.
Talk to you. Now, is that when you two started dating? Or when you started doing it openly?
Twilight felt her blood run cold. Or
I thought that said come.
her coffee run cold. And she quickly looked over at Mordecai, who had a similar reaction. Rigby!
Rigby!
He shouted at him. He roughly punched his arm. She felt her throat tighten slightly and let out a cough.
What? What are you talking about?
I lost it. Oh.
What are you talking about?
Rigby glanced at Mordecai and soothed his sore arm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Why do you care anyway?
I don't. I'm just saying it's kind of a dick move, especially on you, Mordecai. You knew she always had a man, and you kept pursuing her.
Mordecai sat in his chair. An aura of red anger could be seen by those willing to pay attention. Rigby was not
Red aura. Red aura. Wait, where?
One thing.
You said? Did you say you watch your fucking mouth?
No, that's above that.
One thing I don't get, Mordecai, is how you don't expect her to do the same thing to you. If she was so willing to leave him for you, what's stopping her from doing it again?
In an instant, Mordecai exploded out of his chair in British rage. You better watch your fucking mouth, cunt!
I'm just saying, man. Mordecai.
Twilight and Mordecai both clapped their cheeks.
No, that's Shadow.
Oh. Mordecai!
Mm.
Twilight and Mordecai both snapped their heads back to find Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow.
Twilight yelled in shock. Twilight! He responded with joy. In a blink of an eye, he was suddenly on his knees with his hands clasped together. You gotta take me back. Twilight, I can't live without you. Ew. What? No, Mordecai yelled. Shut up, you have a stupid face. Shadow then started singing, I know I can treat you better than he can, 'cause a girl like you deserves a gentleman. Tell me,
Oh my
why
God.
are we wasting time when you should be with me instead? Mordecai, prepare to brawl! Shadow yelled after his performance. Dude, this is by
Dude.
Shawn Mendes.
Dude, this is weird.
Rigby whispered to Mordecai. Mordecai nodded in agreement. Yeah, okay, guys, don't worry, I got this. Mordecai stood up and was suddenly in his buff form. The one with the pecs. Alright, loser, let's get this over with. Shadow chuckled as he got into his fighting stance. Mordecai charged at him, but Shadow dodged and quickly made his way to... Then he shot Rigby, and then he super died.
What? No. No.
I'm sorry, Twilight. It had to be done. I can't live without you. Then he killed Mordecai. Shadow made his way to Twilight and held her in his arms. She sobbed into his shoulders, unable to comprehend what had happened. Shh, it's okay. You're with me now, baby girl. By the way, Shadow knows magic, like, from Harry Potter. But not enough of it that could help with future plot points. He then deleted her memory of Mordecai. Obliviate.
Oh my God.
Obliviate.
Oh my God. There's another chapter. Oh my God.
How many chapters
I
are
thought
there
that was
anyway?
the end. There's like 6 and 7 is the introduction. Oh, so there's actually 2 more chapters.
Okay, we're almost done. How long is this video even? 1
I
hour
don't know.
long already.
No way. No way.
We gotta finish up. The last few
Yeah.
weeks were heavenly to Shadow compared to the 6 months of hell he endured without the love of his life. Twilight sparkled, with Mordecai out of his way. Their relationship was better than ever. So what? He erased her memory. It was for her own good. She's better off without that guy and his stupid face. How was she even supposed to kiss him anyway? He had that ugly ass beak. That relationship was doomed from their differently bodily autonomy alone. Aren't they humans in the story? Like they gave Twilight
Autonomy.
like they gave Twilight hands.
I don't know. And they said autonomy instead of autonomy.
Autonomy. They're autoguns. Shadow hated thinking about it. Thinking about her being with someone who wasn't him. Do I look like him? It seemed like so much time had passed since then, but it had only been 3 months since then. It was difficult, but he managed to dispose both of the bodies before anyone had even known. Shadow didn't feel it was safe for Twilight to be living on her own. So that same night, she moved in with him. Their relationship didn't seem to pick off right where it left off, like nothing had happened, as if that part of her life was simply taken away from her. Oh wait, it was. Maybe he felt a little guilty about what he had done to her. Maybe it was overshadowed by the way he convinced himself it was just to slap her. Wait. Help her. All he knew was that he had finally gotten her back and would never lose her again. He had woken up early that morning. Twilight was sleeping soundly beside him. He got up, careful not to wake her. As he got started on his morning routine, he couldn't shake off the feeling he was being watched. He knew he was being irrational, but became aware of everything around him and of his every action. A few minutes went by and the feeling still hadn't gone away. Paranoia took over, and he frantically looked for cameras that could have possibly been placed in his home. After fruitless attempts, he conceded and calmed himself down. He was just being crazy.
I thought it said fruitiness.
I bet he's being haunted.
Yeah, me too. I bet so.
And he's really gonna see like a gigantic blue bird chasing him, and there's a raccoon eating his trash. As Twilight left the bedroom to join Shadow in his bedroom, he still felt as though he were being watched. Searching his home for cameras didn't seem to ease his nerves. Hello?
I think that's yours.
Yeah, okay. Let's go for a walk. It was still early when they arrived at the local park. It was empty. The only life forms besides Shadow and Twilight being a few coffee cups picking at the ground. The sky was still dark, with the sun only barely shining over the horizon. It was a bit cold. Early winter slowly made its appearance, but Shadow didn't mind because he had a cup of coffee. Twilight, though, was visibly shivering. Shadow offered more than once to give her some coffee, but she insisted she was fine. She came here to escape the feeling of being watched, but he only felt as though it was getting stronger. Throughout their walk, he was constantly looking over his shoulder. Twilight took notice of it and asked him if he was okay. He brushed her off. It's nothing. She had almost been caught by him. She watched from afar, crouched behind bushes, as Twilight and Shadow aimlessly walked throughout the park. Applejack had been stalking them since the night of the bar, the night Shadow killed Mordecai and Rigby. She honestly didn't think Shadow had it in him to do something like that. Honestly, he reminded her a bit of Spongebob. What she knew about him, at least. She was impressed with the way he was able to quickly get rid of the bodies and clean the mess. Twist ending? Imagine if Shadow was part of the cleanup crew.
Oh my god. Wait, what happened to Johnny Bravo? We just mentioned Johnny Bravo and that was it.
What happened to Johnny Bravo?
He skipped town and that's all. Like I would rather get something with John.
I think they only used it to bring up that the Super Mario Bros exist.
Yes, oh my fucking god. But that was before. That was before that. They mentioned the Mario Bros before that.
She was drunk the night she watched them at the bar. She was fueled by the confidence she usually didn't have while sober. Now, she was fueled by pure jealousy.
Rawr.
Her and Rarity's relationship, less shit. More like relation shit, am I right, boys? It had been shit since the beginning. She was trapped in a relationship because she held too much information. Her only options were to leave and inevitably lose her life or spend the rest of the days in the miserable relationship. She always wondered
Can she just cheat?
And then get murdered.
Oh.
She always wondered what may have happened if she and Benson had stayed together. How much different would her life be? How was it fair that she had to live out the rest of her sorrowful life like this while they got to be happy? Regardless, if he were dead or alive, she would have never been able to see Benson again. There was nothing left for her. She glanced down at the knife she had stored in her pocket. She could see her own reflection staring back at her. It was full of determination. She's Chara. It's Undertale. Undertale reference.
No!
She carefully planned out her next move. As Twilight and Shadow approached closer and closer to her hiding spot, her body began to shake uncontrollably, almost vibrating. I think that's the knife. It's a special multi-purpose knife. The handle is purposefully shaped, if you know what I mean. The last thing she heard was Shadow's frantic screams as Twilight lay dead on the cold, wet grass.
Oh no!
Twilight, no! Shadow collapsed next to her body and desperately held on to her. Applejack stood there, dropping her knife in shock, and readied herself to attack Shadow next. But as she scrambled onto the ground in attempts to get her knife back, something stepped in front of her. She slowly looked up at the large figure. Her heart stopped when she finally met his gaze. Benson!
Oh no!
I don't know how he came back.
Me
Benson?
neither.
Applejack.
Oh my god, look at this art. Wait, hold up. Can you see the art?
What is that? Is that
Wait.
Peter Griffin and Bart Simpson?
Yes! That's SpongeBob. Oh yeah, that's Bart Simpson.
Applejack couldn't
cry.
believe it. Is this real? Was he actually standing right in front of her? She stared at him for several seconds, pure and utter shock on her face. That could only mean SpongeBob did have a use for him. Applejack could hardly think of a reason why. There's 30 reasons. There's 6 reasons. Wait, what? How much? What's that reference thing?
What?
Third reason why. I don't know.
Third thing,
Just...
reason why. It's so yeah, it's so familiar. 13 reasons why.
Applejack could hardly think of a reason why. She couldn't even think of 13 reasons why. The only real connection he did have with Twilight was Mordecai. What exactly was SpongeBob even planning? A million thoughts ran through her mind as she continued to gaze at him. Yeah! How? What are you? How? What in tarnation are you doing here? Applejack shrieked. The knife left carelessly next to her as she stood up. Shadow continued to hold Twilight's body, sobbing uncontrollably.
I'm it.
Well, I'm it. Benson started, staring at Applejack. He was breathing heavily and tripping over his own words. He could barely remember his life before a few moments ago. All he remembered was waking up in what looked like a makeshift hospital room. He thrashed in the bed, frantically dazed and confused. Someone had come into the room after a few minutes. Benson didn't recognize him. The man was old, had a terrible hunchback. His voice was high-pitched and raspy. Oh, so you're finally awake, the man said, holding the pen and keyboard. Boss is going to be very happy about this. Oh, wait. Ah, so
No,
you're
it's
finally awake. Boss is going to be very happy about these, he says, writing someone down. Benson opened his mouth to say something, but his voice came out low and hoarse. Don't try and talk now, the man told him, not looking up from his clipboard. I'm Dr. Doofenschmirtz, and you are Benson, yes?
No, please.
Benson tried to speak again. No, don't talk. Just a simple note will do. Oh, do you remember that magic beast? He mutters as he scribbles something down. Do you remember anything from before now? Dr. Doofenschmirtz asks. Benson pauses for a moment, trying to remember anything. He remembers Mordecai, the apartment, Applejack. He remembers only fragments, of everything. He gives him a slow nod. Dr. Doofenschmirtz doesn't reply. He writes down something again and turns away. He'll be here shortly to have a talk with you. Benson watches him as he begins to walk away.
Oh.
He asks, his voice quiet and strained. Dr. Doofenschmirtz narrows his eyes slightly at Benson speaking, but doesn't say anything about it. Spongebob!
I want to be SpongeBob. I want to be SpongeBob.
Okay, fine. From that point, SpongeBob interrogated Benson, trying to get whatever information about Twilight he could. SpongeBob soon realized that Benson had no real relation to her. Not wanting to waste the time, money, and resources into bringing him back to life, SpongeBob decided to recruit him into the Wild Ones.
He's with me.
A voice from behind Applejack said. Applejack felt her body tense, letting out a fearful gasp as she slowly turned around. SpongeBob stared at the two of them standing there menacingly. What? Applejack didn't even realize she was talking and couldn't stop herself from saying anything.
Real shocker, right?
He started. I think he would more say like, real shocker, right?
Real shocker. Oh fuck. real shocker, right?
He started taking a step closer to them. His eyes narrowed at Applejack as he grew nearer.
I got tired of always being in the background. No one's first choice.
Spongebob turned towards Benson.
I wasn't even your first choice.
He paused for a moment, looking back at Applejack.
You're a smart girl, aren't you?
You're a good girl, too. He asked, stepping closer to her.
Let's see. You're Applejack, right? Rarity's little girlfriend? Ah!
Applejack stands there, frozen in fear. She doesn't know what to say to him or how to respond.
What does she have? What does she have to be afraid of?
I don't know. His menacing holes. She continues to look at him, terrified of what could happen.
I'm sure you'll understand, won't you?
Understand what?
That I'll have to kill you. Ah!
Benson's body tenses.
You can't do that.
He shouted. Spongebob turned his attention to Benson again.
Tell me what I can and can't do one more time, Benson.
You can't do that. SpongeBob said, his tone threatening. But
She doesn't deserve that.
And
Twilight dead?
SpongeBob says loudly, glaring at Benson. He points at Applejack.
Oh, diddly diddly do! Look at her, Benson. Diddly diddly do! Look at her, Benson. She doesn't care about what she did. Not an ounce of sorrow in her eyes.
Oh, wait.
Come on, you can do it.
He takes a step closer to Applejack, reaching into his jacket.
Now, get back and let me take care of what? Now get back and let me take care of this.
Shadow continues to hold Twilight in his arms. Realization sets into him as he listens to SpongeBob. Not so fast, SpongeBob. Shadow lets go of Twilight, placing her gently onto the ground. She isn't yours to kill. We did it. We did it.
That was so good.
We finished it. Oh my god. How much?
This
This is 1 hour and 27 minutes long. 28 minutes long.
Oh my god. You